This is going to be Sunken Temple as a Mistweaver monk. I'm not an expert at this game, this is not a dungeon guide, this represents my personal experience with a random dungeon group. Had a little bit of confusion earlier about the name of this place. So the zone is the Temple of Atal-Hakar, but Sunken Temple is the name of the like scenario of the dungeon going in here. Okay, he gave me an egg. Some of these classic quests seem to give you quest items you gotta pay attention to do stuff with. So that was the map for a moment. This place was cut down a lot. This used to be a large, sprawling dungeon with a lot of confusing stuff going on. There's like nothing left of it. It's just this central chamber with a couple of little branching paths off of it, and that's pretty much it. Alright, so a couple of semi-notable things are going to happen during this dungeon. I won't say exactly what they are, I mean you can see them as they come. Got a warrior tank, Nightborn, one of those races you have to unlock. Whole lot of blood elves. 3 blood elves, another kind of elf, and me, the panda. Right, so warrior tank, what else do we see? Hunter is just standing there doing nothing. Whoa, that may have just been latency. There's that ground effect. Yeah, it's gotta be a hunter thing. Somebody's asleep and I'm doing nothing about it. I don't know if I noticed. What's the bottom party member? Is that a... What is he doing? Okay, it's an arcane mage. Got it. So things go just a little bit wrong here. Not too disastrously. But there are some problems as the run goes on. Action bar looks pretty much the same. I don't think things change a whole lot in the late classic levels. Not a whole lot of healing demands, so I can spend most of my time attacking. So I'm noticing I'm not able to skin this thing currently until somebody loots it. There was apparently a change in the most recent version of the game where now you can skin things that you've tagged and other people have to loot before they finished looting them. Which seems like it might be a problem. It lets skinners get their stuff, but skinning a thing removes the corpse. So if somebody else was waiting on loot, then it'll just be gone by the time the thing has been skinned. Oh right, still collecting grizzly trophies. That'll go on for a while. Everybody's pretty spread out. This is a warrior who wants to go fast. I mean, I say that, but like, the pace he's going is perfectly reasonable here. A lot of people here just seem to be... No, it's just that we have a bunch of ranged damage types. In fact, yeah. The tank and I are the only melee ones, it looks like. What's that one on the top? 2 people from Gorefiend, possibly together. So right, Hunter, Arcane Mage, and what? Are there 2 Arcane Mages? Hold on. One person in the party isn't even with us. Omega, with an extra A, is back at the beginning, I think. I see that icon on the map. Anyway, Avatar of Hakar, I thought I remembered being like a pretty late boss in this place in the original incarnation of this. Apparently it's the first one we're fighting. I think you have to interact with that pile of skulls somehow to summon it. Looks like Tankman did that. So yeah, nothing much going on yet. The things that go wrong later. Huh. So I was just channeling Soothing Mist, hitting the Enveloping Mist button, then letting that finish. Interesting. These days it's not common that I'll just let Soothing Mist finish channeling. I usually just do it to make Enveloping Mist instant. Oh, okay, I see. So you use the egg to summon the thing, but he already did that. I don't know if that would have done anything if I had let it complete. Right, that was the quest item I was looking at earlier. Okay, it's a paladin. Other party members found their way to us. Kind of. Yeah, okay, I was right. There is some, like, lagging behind going on here. People are taking their time to catch up with the rest of the group. The group leaders, I guess. I'm staying on the group leader. Can't really do anything while asleep, but fortunately he wasn't really taking any damage. Yeah, that's right. I want to say it's the Nightmare Wormkin that puts you to sleep. One of these does. That's probably interruptible if you pay attention. So I got my roll command way up there in a secondary action bar, which it takes a moment to get to. Later on I end up changing it so that I can get to it from my attack action bar, because that's usually when I'm going to want it. If I'm attacking, I'm going to catch up with the thing I'm targeting. There are a lot of different ways that players manage their hotkeys and action bars and things. Some people just click on the icons down there. Like you can add more action bars, and all those abilities down at the bottom can be mouse activated, but then your mouse is not available for doing other things. That's often not a recommended way to play. So like I never activate any ability with in any way other than pressing a key for it. Oh, this is the room. Yeah, check it out. Okay, so he runs in here, pulls a whole bunch of those. Paladin follows. So we're just fighting them right in the middle of the room. If you know what these people do, you probably know what's about to go wrong here. Here we go. Okay. So Paladin gets feared. That one's also casting fear. I get feared. And entire room's attention gets pulled. Okay, so I'm drinking things. I'm trying to heal myself. I should have been healing him. Boss comes. He would have died anyway. Everybody would have died anyway. So right. This guy had no idea what happened and just sort of assumed, oh, it's everybody else's fault. This is a bad habit that some people who show up in dungeons have sometimes. Like before everybody's even finished dying, he's complaining about what just happened. But somebody explains it to him, and that quiets him down real quick. Hopefully he learned from his mistake. I don't think he says another word for the rest of this run. It's hard to read this. Everybody else is cool about it. It's like, oh, yeah, they fear, by the way. So, you know, be careful where you stand. Oh, no, he says one other thing. That's right. I kind of remember this. It's been a bit. So, yeah, right. The strategy for a room like that would be to pull the things that can cast fear, first of all, separately from each other so you can be sure to interrupt and manage the fear, and second of all, you know, interrupt it if you can. Yeah, either stay far away or make sure it doesn't... Yeah, so he wants me to resurrect those people who are way the heck in there where all of the things that will pay attention to me are. So check it out. I sent my first actual message during one of these dungeons. Like everybody else just clicked the release spirit button and ran back, but these two didn't want to. There's this thing I notice from people who, I guess this sort of feeds into my theory that when I see two people from the same server, it's almost always because they were in a group and entered the dungeon queue together. And no, they always seem to play very similarly. Group members stick more closely to other members of their group that they came here with than just the random people they picked up in the dungeon. Yeah, see, now he's doing the exact same thing here. This is a bad idea. I'm keeping my distance this time. I'm not going to be the one who gets feared into the boss this time. Retribution Paladin takes the blame, even though it wasn't his fault. It is possible that he did something I didn't see to make that situation worse, but like it was already going to go the way it went. Oh yeah, those spirits, right. Those come out of the bodies and are untargetable. They'll just hit you for a while until they disappear. I had forgotten about those. Warrior's taking a bit of damage. Nothing unmanageable. Fear sent you that direction. That's fine. Yeah, this warrior tank didn't seem to learn anything from that experience. We just got luckier the second time, and the rest of the party members were more ready for this. That's the way I see it, at least. If you couldn't tell, this was a person I didn't get along with super well. I see you going over there, Mr. Omega. You stayed out of range of the problematic ones. Move them back. That'd be a great idea, wouldn't it? He's not gonna listen. Yeah, maybe he's trying to. Thing is, those are casters, so moving them is kind of tricky. So if I were tanking this, I'd probably do like an around the corner, back in the hallway sort of pull, if I could. Just make sure you're not fighting anything within range of, if somebody gets feared in the worst direction, that they'll pull a whole bunch more. Yeah, there's a corner way back there that could be used. It'd be a little bit of a pain, but you could do it. Wonder if he could stand behind that, like, spiky thing on my left. Some objects like that break line of sight, some don't. It might work. I'll have to try it once I get here as a tank. Or not, because that's probably still too close. Hey, don't just stand there and get hit by that. Move. What am I doing? Guess I hadn't figured out what the spirits did. Neither had the rest of the party. They're all trying to attack them too. Oh, man. The Soul Slayer comes. Yep, so this entire encounter told me everything I needed to know about this group. Join us. So you sort of got the two from Gorefiend, who are, you know... I guess second person's name tells a story there. They're kinda there, kinda not. Then the hunter who's just quietly doing her job. Then the healer who's just quietly doing her job. Then the tank who wants to blame everybody else for problems and doesn't really know what's going on. But is gonna pretend he does. Nature locked for quite a while. Gives me a chance to attack, but it gives everybody else's health bar a chance to go down pretty much. Why is this mage taking so much damage? Is this warrior only tanking one of the two things in this encounter? And the mage ends up taking the other one? That's kind of what it looks like to me. Oh, no, it looks like... Okay, Kraugel over there perhaps does a fixate... where he goes straight towards somebody, and they're supposed to just run away, because he was moving really slow. The mage did not run. Wait a second, no, that was the warrior. Oh, these are... Oh, this is one of those things like, like Stratholm, where a party member gets changed to an enemy. Got it. Okay. So when he says join us, somebody actually joins them. Anyway, we got that one done. Yeah, it wasn't the worst. I think the rest of the dungeon goes smoothly enough, but the tone's kind of been set by now. So things are happening in the middle here. Oh yeah, these two are like little mini-bosses you can pick up. Kinda looks like he's choosing not to. The two friends are just talking to each other as if the rest of us aren't here. That's fine, I guess. Yeah, he has no idea where to go. Checking the map. Not really sure. It used to be that there was not a map opening animation, but now you can tell when somebody else is looking at their map. I guess that's useful. You know, their eyes are not on the screen in front of them, so if they don't notice something, you'll know why. That giant dragon had only 2 pieces of rugged leather for me for some reason. Aha! I noticed the sleep and did something about it. Not as quick as I would have liked to have done it, but I did eventually. Oh, there's still one of those alive. Where'd that come from? Huh. Okay, there is another Skinner here. That might be the first that I noticed that. 10 seconds? That's a lot of sleep. Whoops. I pressed my R key and accidentally was almost replying to a whisper. Who the heck was whispering me here? That doesn't happen much. It doesn't have a reason to happen much. I've only had like 2 or 3 people whisper me in the entire time I've been playing this game this time. What could that have been about? Maybe that was from that one Zul'Farrak run that I decided not to show where... when I got knocked up onto the pillar by Gazrilla. But hadn't that been a while ago? Was this all same day? It's possible. Maybe it was something else I forgot about. As I remember, there was that, the "how did you get up there" whisper. There was, one time I got something in a dungeon that was useful for me, but somebody else wanted it, and wanted to see if I would trade it. And then there was a random person who whispered me and asked if I was looking for a guild, because that's what people do to people who are ungilded in this game. Fortunately, there's a setting now where you can just disable guild invites, so nobody can pester you with it. They can still whisper, but, you know, that's less annoying than having this thing come up in the, whoa, that hurts, what happened to me? High threat. Okay, so somehow I pulled threat there. Is there a threat drop mechanic in this fight, or was the warrior doing something wrong? Hard to tell for sure. Okay, deep slumber, that's the one. So he puts him to sleep. Yeah, alright, so what I should have been doing is dispelling that sleep. I didn't know. It worked out. Alright, so when deep slumber happens, that means that that target is no longer targeted. I was the one with the next most threat at the first time that it happened, then the mage was the second time. Got it. Okay, and that's the Sunken Temple achievement. So that must have been the last boss of this version of this place. Cool. Got a quest to turn in. Mr. Blame Everybody Else Warrior is left, so that's nice. I think I looked at that thing and thought about skinning it, but decided to let the hunter do it. I'd rather go and turn in quests there. Could have teleported out and back in. These two want to do more dungeons. I'm not ready yet. I want to turn in my quests first. But I did press the button. We don't have a tank, so typically there's a little bit of a wait. And so I probably figured we were safe to get into the queue now if we, you know, even if the hunter wants to come along with the rest of us,
Hello.
you know, it wouldn't want to kick me out of the dungeon before I'd finished this thing. Alright, and that is Sunken Temple. See you for the next one.